Hi, it's Michelle with Prepare a Room, a Path to Peace and Healing for Those Hurt by Abortion. I'm reading to you, my beloved listeners, and this is the fourth video. I'm in chapter 1, Hello, and it's the second part of that chapter. And I'll take up with the last paragraph of the last reading for continuity's sake. The rooms you will prepare are figurative, not literal. The work of preparing a room takes place inside your mind and heart. It's all about your attitude, attention, and willingness to go through the process. Foundational ideas. Abortion is a hot-button political issue. You can go on the internet and find plenty of debate on the topic. You can find statistics about abortion as well as detailed descriptions of the processes involved. You can even find unspeakably horrid photos and videos of the tiny victims. You won't find those things here. They do not further the pursuit of peace and healing. Along the way, I will share some of my ideas about destructive strains I see in today's society that influence us, but I will bring out these points only insofar as they touch on your healing. I want to help you not engage in political debate. Our decisions are not made in a vacuum. So we need to see how our culture has urged us along. That way we can reevaluate our assumptions and start to think for ourselves. Let me tell you a little bit about where I'm coming from. I wrote this book because I care very much about you. The purpose of this book is to be a help to you. And part of that help means breaking down some of the lies told in today's society. Believing those lies may be part of what got you where you are today. And recognizing them will help you move on to a better place. I am not neutral about what is best for you. Some of what passes for normal in the culture today is really not good for you. So it needs to be talked about. I hold strong ideas not only about breaking down lies, but about building up truth. Yes, there is such a thing as truth. And our alliance with truth ensures our victory over lies and the damage done by them. I start with the understanding that we human beings are made by God, and He has placed within us a moral compass that informs us of right and wrong. You could call it your conscience. Our wrong actions go against that inner moral compass, causing us guilt and grief. Furthermore, our wrong actions fracture our relationship with God, the one who placed the sense of right and wrong inside us so that we could choose right over wrong. We must not be afraid to say that abortion is wrong. Our built-in morality tells us so, though some have willfully and willingly abandoned their moral compass and cannot see clearly to make such an admission. All our actions in life are either taking us on a path toward the right, toward the positive, toward wholesomeness, beauty, joy, life, and thriving, or they are taking us on a path toward the wrong, toward the negative, toward darkness, destruction, waste, death, and ugliness. When we head toward where God is, we find all that is good and life-giving. And when we turn away from God, that negative stuff takes over and we suffer its ill effects. Abortion took us down the wrong road and made death a part of our story. The trick is to turn around and head toward God. He helps us find life even in the midst of death. What about the children lost in abortion? I approach this topic with the understanding that abortion takes the life of a living human being, not non-specific tissue, as I was told, not a potential human, not an inconvenience, not a parasite, not a punishment, not a clump of cells, but a human being. Sometimes we hear the words embryo and fetus used to minimize the humanity of the child in the womb. Yet those words very clearly speak of a living human being in development. What does Merriam-Webster dictionary say about those words that are intended to distance us from the presence of life in the womb? The dictionary defines embryo as a developing human individual. That was hard to say. Developing human individual. And fetus as a developing human. Saying it was just an embryo or it was only a fetus doesn't excuse taking a life. He or she was a developing human individual. There is no room for your truth and my truth here. The only truth is that the child developing in the womb is indeed a human being. We are all endowed with intrinsic value as human beings. This is true of our unborn babies, and it is also true of us. Our lives have meaning that arises from the full expression of love. The love we give, but even more, the love we are given by God, the source of life, our Creator. Our identity is found in relation to Him, from whose love we derive our great worth. We are beloved by Him and have been created with purpose, not as random accidents. So often we try to concoct some value for our lives based on our own changeable ideas, deeds, or moods. These tend to fall short when they come up against a serious challenge to our self-worth, such as we're presented with in the case of abortion. By contrast, our value that is rooted in our Creator's love for us is unchanging, unshakable, and absolutely solid under any circumstances we might face. If you don't believe in God, or if you have questions or doubts in that area, you are especially welcome here. You are actually the one I was thinking of when I wrote this book. I have tried to speak to you in as genuine a manner as I can, just as one person to another, as equals sharing a pot of tea together at the table. You are encouraged to stick around and see if something in these pages resonates with you. And I'm going to stop there, and we're going to take up, I think, well, we might have to do 2 more to finish this chapter. We're in chapter 1 of Prepare a Room. This is the 3rd reading, and I will see you next time when we'll continue with this chapter. Bye.